Welcome to Money Moves, presented by F&M Trust. My name is Matthew Berger. I'll be a regional market manager with our investment and trust department, serving Franklin, Fulton, and Huntington counties. And I'm joined today by my colleague.
I'm Erin Sunday. I'm a relationship manager, also with the Investment and Trust Services Group of F&M Trust, and I serve the Cumberland and Capital Markets. So in this segment, we want to start the conversation about the proposed estate tax changes.
Yes, so what we're talking about here is the Unified Estate Tax Exemption Credit. So this is the amount of net worth that an individual can have before they are subjected to federal estate taxes. So just as some simple history, this number has been as low as $600,000 back in 1997 and as high as $11.7 million, which is the number for this year. So your personal net worth has to be in excess of that number for you to get charged anything in the way of federal estate taxes. So differentiate this a little bit. You could also have a lot of people that have heard of the $15,000 annual gift amount. So how that relates is basically if you give more than one person $15,000, $30,000 as a married couple, you actually are supposed to report that, and that starts to use up some of this unified gift amount that we are discussing. So the Biden administration, as candidate Biden, had come up with some changes that he had wanted to make to that number. It's been something that's been highly politicized, a lot of back and forth between the Republicans and the Democrats regarding this figure. So Trump had raised that number. So previously, back in 2010, the number was set at $5 million. They indexed it for inflation. In 2018, through the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, Trump doubled the number. And that's where you get it up closer to the 11.7, almost $12 million that we have currently. So the proposals by the Biden administration were actually to reduce this all the way back to its 2009 number of $3.5 million, $7 million for a married couple. Well, that catches a lot more people than does, the $22 million, $24 million that we're discussing now. Now, the House Ways and Means Committee came out with a different proposal. Instead of the 3.5, they've negotiated a little back towards the middle. We're talking more in the $5 million indexed for inflation figure again, which would be about $5.8 million roughly when we would look at for next year.
Yeah, and that proposal would come into play next year rather than when it's supposed to sunset at the end of 2025 or the start of 2026.
Erin, what are some things that our clients may want to consider regarding these changes?
The one thing that they really should start considering is portability. And Matt, can you just discuss portability for us?
Certainly. So portability is the filing of an estate tax return when a spouse passes away so that we could use the amount of that annualized or the lifetime gift exemption so that can be used by the surviving spouse. So we file a federal estate tax return so that we can harness that number for the surviving spouse.
A second thing they should be concerned about is how to utilize the current exemption instead of letting it revert back to that 5.8 number. So a lot of individuals will be looking at that because they want to take advantage and use that full exemption of 11.7 now instead of letting it sunset or go away. The third thing individuals need to do are talk to their tax and legal advisors in order for them to take advantage of what is currently in place versus what is proposed in the future.
Thank you again for joining us here on Money Moves. We greatly appreciate your interest in this and other videos like it. We recommend that you get together with your professional team here in the coming weeks, whether that be your investment professionals, your legal team, or your accountant. We look forward to seeing you again in future videos.
Hopefully this will be a springboard to starting conversations with your advisors.